My name is Sam Taris. So if you have observed or you have got a chance to be with me in previous periods, I think you do remember me as I tried to introduce you or to introduce on you, but today I'm here so as to proceed as we discussed with several topics of civics which are very important or which are needed to be learned by all students of Form 1. So today I selected to start with a topic which known as life skills. So on this topic there are a few issues which we'll discuss on today or on this period. So first of all, we have to start with a skill. What is a skill? Skill is an ability of a person to do something. So when we speak about a skill, is an ability of a person to do something well. So here the point or the main issue which has been picked on this definition is that if you have any skill, if you have any knowledge of doing something, even you have a knowledge of preparing chapati, that is a skill. If you have a knowledge of cooking ugali, that is a skill. If you have a knowledge of writing a letter, that is a skill. So due to that, or according to this definition, is any skill or any ability that you have is an ability of a person. So that ability is owned by a person or belongs to a certain person to do something well. So that's something which you are supposed to do. You should do it. You should do it very well. So if you are cooking, or if you have a skill of cooking ugali, you have to cook ugali very well. So that is an ability which we are talking here. Also, or we can say that skill is an ability of an individual to apply his or her mental or physical power to control the environment. So is an ability of an individual. So any skill which a person has, so as that skill or ability a person can apply on his or her life, that can be applied through physically or mentally. So here, if you are doing a certain issue like cooking ugali and you are using physical ability, that is a skill. Or if you have any activity which you are doing by using mental ability, that is a skill. That is also that is another issue which are being included on the second definition of a skill. So as to control the environment. So we do normally know that in our environment there are several issues, or there are many issues which are surrounding us. So if you have any ability that enable you to live or to cope with or to be with environment that surround you, that is a skill according to the second definition as I wrote on the back. Here also, after looking a meaning of a skill, let us see life skills. What is life skills? What does it mean? Or when we hear somebody talking about life skills, what does he or she mean? So life skills is an ability of a person to live in the society and achieve success in their life. So if you have succeeded in any issue in your life, and due to those success which you have got, there are several skills which helped you to reach those achievements which you have or which you own. So those skills that enable you to be very successful at a certain age in your life, that is life skills. According to this definition, that states that is an ability of a person to live in the society and achieve success in society and achieve success in the society. So you have to ask yourself, if you have succeeded anything in your life, you have to see what are the ways which are used so as to reach this success. And those ways which helped you to reach on that point of being succeeded, you have to determine that those ways are the life skills. Or life skills are the ability that a person has to live or to live or manage his or her life properly and make it better, as well as to do right ones and avoiding wrong ones. So according to this definition, tries to show us that those abilities which we have or which we own, either physically or mentally, and enable us to live well in our society and to avoid wrong issues or wrong activities, and enable us to do those issues which are accepted in our society. That is human skills, or that is life skills. That's why those skills helps us to determine. Those skills help us to determine or to reach at a point which we dreamed to reach. So that is the definition or another definition of life skills. So these skills or life skills enable a person to. So those skills which we have can enable us to do to do many things. So that is, or among of those issues are as follow. The first one is to understand oneself. So a lot of skills which we have enable us or help us to live or to understand oneself. So here the point which has been emphasized or included or has been intended on this first, as I read, is that you understand yourself, who you are, and why you are at a certain place. What are your weaknesses? What is your strengths? So if you are knowing those issues which I'm trying to tell you, you have to know that these are life skills. That's why those life skills helps me to know or to understand myself. What is a certain thing belongs to me and what a certain thing does not belong to me. Also, life skills helps to build good relationship with others. So here we know that when we meet with other people who we are not familiar, we have to start to create good relationship. So you can't create good relationship with other people without having life skills. That's why those life skills will help you to know how can you establish this kind of relationship. That's why if you haven't these life skills, you can establish bad relationship with others. So those life skills, or if you have seen anybody who has established a good relationship, you must know that he or she has used his or her life skills. That is helped him or her to create a good relationship between that person and the other people who has established that kind of relationship. Also, life skills help us to survive under difficult circumstances. We know we are human beings. There are several problems which do occur in our life, or which occur in our society, or happen in our society, or at every place which we are. So if any problem can occur or happen in our society, and we can cope with it, we can solve, we can handle those problems without being affected negatively. You have to know that those are the life skills which you have. Also, to solve problems, we have several problems. So if we know that there is a certain problem in my life, or at the workplace, or at the school, or at where I meet with my friends. So if you succeeded to solve this kind of problem, you have to know that I used several life skills so as to solve those problems, or a certain problem which happened to you. So these are the several importances that can help us to solve, that can be occurred or happen when we are applying life skills. So after looking at that, let us go directly to the types of life skills. There are only 3 types of life skills, which are: the first one is individual life skills, social or interpersonal life skills, also effective decision skills or life skills. So on today we will concentrate much on the first type of life skills, which is individual life skills or intrapersonal life skills. So what does it mean, or what is individual life skills? Individual life skills are the skills that help an individual to understand his or herself through various ways. So when we talk about individual life skills, it simply means that as several abilities which belong to a particular person that enable him or her to understand him or herself in various ways. So if there is a certain problem which has been occurred or happened to you, and you have succeeded to solve it by using different ways, you have to know that you have individual life skills. That's why you apply those knowledge, this knowledge, so as to solve these problems or challenges, and among others. Also, a person can understand his or her weakness, strengths, feelings, thoughts, and among others. So if you have to assess yourself, just sit down and try to assess yourself. If you are a person and you know your weaknesses, you know your challenges, you know your feelings, you know your strengths, you know your thoughts, and among others, you have to know that you have individual life skills. That's why you are trying to know yourself. You are trying to know each and everything which belongs to yourself. So these issues, or when we are talking about individual life skills, can be measured through the following issues, as we are going to discuss one after another. The first one is self-awareness. When we talk about self-awareness, it simply means that to know his or herself. So if you know yourself, about each and everything, you have to know that you own self-awareness, or you have a certain or a self-awareness. That's why you determine yourself. You know yourself, where you are, where did you come from, and where are you going. So if you know about yourself, you have to know that you have a certain life skills, that is individual skills, and specifically on the self-awareness. You have awareness, self-awareness. You are aware about each and everything about yourself. That is the first one. And the second one is coping with stress. Coping with stress. So here we have to start with the meaning of stress. Thereafter we will know what does it mean when we talk about coping with stress. Stress is a mental, physical tension or pressure which caused by events. Example, examination, death, divorce, and among others. So when we talk about stress, it simply means that are those skills or are those mental, either mental or physical or tension or pressure which caused by any event. And a good example of it is that if there is any issue which has been occurred, or if there is any event that has been occurred on yourself, like examination, death, or divorce by your beloved one, or among others, and you can handle with those feelings which can be occurred due to one among, or due to the occurrence of one among of events as I mentioned here or others. You have to know that I have a certain ability of coping with stress. So if you have failed examination and you have succeeded to cope with emotions, or to cope with emotions which happened or occurred due to the failure of your examination, you have to know that I have an ability to cope with the emotion. So after looking in the coping with stress, let us look on another issue which is known as assertiveness. So what is assertiveness? Assertiveness is an ability to know what he or she wants and why, and take necessary steps to achieve it. So if you are a person, you have to ask yourself, if you own an ability to know yourself about what you want and what you want and why. So if I want, let me give you an example. If I decided myself to go at the school so as to get education, that is something which I want. And here you are not supposed to end that. And you know what are you doing that? Or if you have a certain skill of cooking or preparing ugali, that is, you have determined there's something which you want. Also you have to know why I want ugali, why I want to prepare it, why I want to do it. And if we want to know the main or factors which stimulated you to be engaged on a certain or on the doing of a certain thing, you have to know that I have an ability of assertiveness. So I know what I want and why I want that something. So that is the assertiveness. And also to take necessary step to achieve it. If I know that I want ugali and I know why I want to cook ugali, that's why I'm so tired. Oh, there is I faced with a problem of harm. So and I know to achieve it. So if I want to remove this problem, I should cook ugali so as to feed myself. So these three issues are being included on the issue of assertiveness. To know what you want and why you want that something, and what are the ways forward so as to reach those issues of what you wanted. So that is the issue of assertiveness. Also, there is another issue, that is coping with emotion. When we speak about emotions, it simply means that are the strong feelings which can be occurred or happen to anybody. And those strong feelings can be caused by fear, love, shyness, and among others. And if you have an ability to cope with emotion which has been occurred on yourself, you have to know that this is an ability of coping with this kind of emotions which has been occurred on my side. So, hence, the ability to cope with those, as I mentioned here, you have to know that I have the ability of coping with the emotions. So that is an end of our session or our period. So there is task here which you have to there is another issue which it can be, those issues which you are talking here can be help with somebody, or somebody can cope with emotions or coping with stress, or coping with stress or self-awareness, and among others, as we discussed here. You can apply it by using different ways. Like it can be done through accept reality. So you have to accept the reality. If you have failed you have failed the examination, you have to accept it. You have to accept it. That is a best way of solving that problem. Also accept, that is the second one, find different alternatives to solve problems. Also, you have to find best solutions about a certain problem. If you fail, you have failed examination, you have to see ways forward, so I can repeat or I can resit a certain examination. That's why if I can use another chance, I can pass examination. Also seek advice where necessary. So if there is or there are a lot of problems which occurred on yourself, and you fail to know what are the best ways which I can use so as to solve this problem, you have to go to your friends, you have to go to the people who you believe, so as to be advised or to give you advices that can help you to handle or to cope with anything that has happened on yourself. So thereafter, that is an end. So let us see a question which is, mention importance of each individual skills as appeared above. So this question demands you to mention importance of importance of self-awareness, another importance of coping with stress, also importance of assertiveness, also importance of coping with emotions. So thank you. See you next time.
Purchase your tracks